Hey, how is everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. As you see by the title, a little different video. I'm going to be talking about every Minnesota Viking offensive starter for just 1 minute. It's going to sum up how they've been over the year, give a couple of thoughts on them. I think this will be fun because I get to be brief about their performance in a year, kind of see where my real thoughts are. So we're going to get into this right away. It's going to be a long video. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Let me know if you guys want to see this for the defensive side of the ball as well. But anyways, every Minnesota Viking offensive starter this year, let's talk about them for 1 minute. All right, I got my stopwatch on my phone next to me. Well, we're going to start off with the left tackle, Christian Darrisaw. Christian Darrisaw, we'll combine this with Hill. Hill was okay when he was in. Darrisaw really came in. He's honestly probably my MVP of the offense if it's not Jefferson or Cousins. He's the MVP of the offensive line. He has really been a revelation at the left tackle spot. I think he's been great. He's like a big grizzly bear. You know, when he puts his hands on you, you're not going anywhere. You know, he was a little inconsistent. I guess maybe against who do we play last week? Green Bay. He got beat a couple times against Green Bay, but he's been phenomenal. I mean, he looks like he'll be the left tackle for the next probably 10 years for the Vikings if they pay him and treat him right and he stays kind of off the injury report. I think he'll be great, though. He's a big dude. Darrisaw, no problems at all. All right, moving on. Ezra Cleveland. We're just going to work from left tackle all the way down the line to the receivers. Ezra Cleveland. Again, I feel like the way I talk about him is the way I talked about Bradbury the past couple of years. It's just inconsistency. I swear to God, some games, Ezra, like the Green Bay game last week, he was moving people in the running game, especially near the goal line. He was great. Then you have some games where there's a flag every other play for Ezra, where there's something always wrong. And you'll see him get blown off the ball. You see him not move as well. And it's just very hit or miss. You go to his PFF grades, it is up, it is down. It is just inconsistency at its finest. However, this is his second year. He was a tackle in college. I think overall, if I'm looking at him for this season, I got to say he's been playing, decently well. I would consider him, I'll probably grade him at a B, B minus. It's just consistency, and I think that'll happen as he kind of grows in his NFL career. All right, let's talk about him. The center position, Garrett Bradbury, Mason Cole. Letter grade, I would give him an F. I really think so. I think this is probably the worst center group in the National Football League. And yes, I have not watched other centers. I do not go and film. I don't watch other centers throughout the league. But just my eye test and the film I have watched on the Vikings, Bradbury and Mason Cole, besides that first game Mason Cole started, I believe that was it might have been Baltimore. I think it was Baltimore he started. It was either Baltimore or LA. When he started his first game, I was like, Cole, he looks good. He looks way better than Bradbury. But then against Kenny Clark, Mason Cole was thrown in the backfield multiple times. I mean, and then Bradbury, when he was in before, early on this season, he was terrible. I didn't think Bradbury was good at all. He just gets thrown around. It's his fourth year. You expect guys that were taken in the first round to be throwing people around instead of getting thrown around. I just feel too much is when we're watching the center position, it just looks like they're high schoolers. Like, it looks like they're high schoolers going against a D1 team. Like, I get getting beat. But when the center position gets beat for us, it ruins the play. Give him an F and let's move on. Oli Udoh, our right guard. This one hurts me because I made a video in this, when Vikings were at training camp, and I thought he was going to be a stud this year. I really did. I thought, he had the good size. He kind of had this underdog story, and he has been fine. He hasn't been as bad as the center position, but the penalties for Oli Udoh have just killed him. Penalties over and over again kill this Vikings offensive line, and he's the main culprit. There's not much to get into with Udoh. He's been fine. I mean, I don't know. It's just the penalties that drive me crazy. It really makes me wonder where Wyatt Davis is for that right guard position because, I mean, there has to be a change eventually. I mean, Udoh was kind of my sleeper to kind of take a step up this year. Just hasn't really happened. He looked good at first, but I don't know. I would have to grade him. I'll probably give him a C on the year, C minus. All right, big dog, got the contract this offseason. Brian O'Neill, last offensive lineman we're going to be talking about. Hey, he was Brian O'Neill this year. He had a couple bad games early on. I think a couple times. I think Arizona, he had a very strong game. I thought Cleveland, he was not his best, but then you're going against, Clowney and Myles Garrett and all them. Cleveland's got a good D. But, I mean, I would probably grade him in like A minus, B plus. He's been good. I don't think he is as maybe dominant as I had really high expectations for O'Neill. I thought he was going to be one of the top 2 right tackles, and he's definitely a top 5 right tackle in the league. I'll probably throw him in there 3 to 5, and he's been playing pretty good this year. I just love how the tackle position for us is solidified. I don't really have worries going in every week when there's an edge rusher. Even going against last week against Bosa, I know we got in there once, but I still like our tackles and their matchups they have every week. O'Neal, been fine. Not much we got to say. All right, let's start off with the wide receivers. I guess we'll just start off with the best wide receiver in the league right behind me, number 18, Justin Jefferson. I mean, you guys know. I mean, really, I don't have to get in here and really say much. 1,000 yards already on the year. Really dominant. It seems like when we get him the football, we win games. Shocking as that seems. But, you know, not much I need to say about Jefferson. He's been fantastic this year. I thought the one thing that kind of stands out with me with him is his contested catches this year. I always knew he could go up and moss people. You know, I mean, we obviously knew he had that in his bag. However, this year it's just been incredible. I mean, you throw it up to him, he's winning that. I mean, it feels like a 90% clip. He did start off a little slow early on in the year. I know we weren't getting the ball as much as he would have liked and I would have liked, but he did have his drops. But, I mean, as of recently, he's been great. I mean, he's averaging, I think, 95 yards a game right now, 3rd in the league. Not much I need to say. Getting to his partner in crime, Adam Thielen. He has had a very underrated season. You know, he's tied for the league in receiving touchdowns. He's a great red zone threat, great locker room guy, great route runner. Again, not much I need to say. You guys see all of it. You guys see the receivers. The receivers are an easy position to kind of judge. I guess for the casual fan, it's not like the offensive line where you don't really know what the exact scheme is and everything. I guess the same can be said for the receivers, but it's just easier to watch and like it's easier to tell who's good and who's not for the receiver position. And Thielen, done Thielen things all year. Great red zone threat, just a great 3rd down guy. I mean, him and Cousins' relationship is continuously growing every year, so you love to see it. All right, moving on to the wide receiver 3, KJ Osborne. I'm going to throw Clint Kubiak into this I guess, minute that I'm talking about KJ. What the hell? I mean, can we get KJ the ball more? I feel like he's got to have one-on-ones. I mean, especially if they're starting to bracket JJ and Thielen, which the Niners were doing last week. KJ's got to be available more. And I don't know if he's not winning his matchups as much as he was in the beginning of the year, but he needs to be inserted into the offense more because he's a good receiver. He's had contested catches. He's had big-time plays. He's been there throughout this season consistently, especially in the 4th quarter. KJ, 4th quarter killer. I feel like Cousins always seems to go to him when it's crunch time, when the moment's the biggest. And, you know, in Arizona, he had like 3 catches on the game-winning field goal drive that Greg Joseph shanked. However, he's been great. I just think Clint Kubiak needs to get him the ball more. I don't know if you need to scheme something up more for KJ. I just feel like he might be a wasted talent that's not getting enough touches. That's just me. That's what I see with my eye test. But KJ, he's been great all year. We finally got that wide receiver 3 that we've been looking for. All right, let's get to the backfield. The backfield, I'm honestly a little disappointed. And just the running game as a whole this year, we don't run the ball well. We really don't. And Dalvin, he's looked like he's been injured since the bye. I don't want to sit here and critique Dalvin. He's still a good running back. He just hasn't looked the same. Madison hasn't looked the same since the bye. But our lack of ability to run the football is a problem right now, especially when you're getting to November, December, I guess December and January football right now. It's a problem. Also, Kene Wangu, let's get him the damn football. Dalvin's out for a little bit. He's a stud. I'll throw him in there. He's been honestly the highlight. I think he should be getting more carries than Madison going into this weekend, but that's just me. But yeah, running backs, they've been okay. I've been a little disappointed in them. I thought I've expected more, honestly. But, you know, it's also, you got to throw that on the O-line. The O-line, running game, they kind of complement each other. But, you know, we'll see. We just haven't really been able to get the running game that I guess we thought going into the year. Last, but definitely not least, Kirk Cousins. He's been good. He's been good. I know this past week we kind of got some recency bias after the 49ers game, but overall, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's been phenomenal. I mean, he's won us games we shouldn't have won. We should have more wins just because he's been setting us up for game-winning field goals, game-winning touchdowns, it seems like every week. And he's been consistently good. Yes, he misses some throws here and there. Would I like him to be more mobile? Yes. Would I like him to take off and run more? Yes. But there's also not many quarterbacks in the league that can deliver a football on time, on target like he can. And I think that wins in the NFL. Honestly, if we're looking around, Mac Jones, I mean, he obviously has a way better defense. But guys like that, they still know how to win. Not everybody needs to be this out-of-the-pocket thrower. He can still win with a pocket guy. And he's been good. He's been good this entire season. I know we like to get on him, and he makes a lot of money, so it's easy to get on him. He's not the most, I guess, alpha personality, so we feel like we can get on him as fans. But he's been good. Honestly, I see no reason why not to return him. And if you asked me that probably 2 months ago, I would have laughed and I would have said definitely not getting him. But Kirk, he continues to shut me up every week. So Kirk, he's been good. Hopefully you guys like this. Talking about each Minnesota Vikings offensive starter for around 1 minute. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys want this for the defense tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think down below. Skol Vikes.